Gentlemen. See if I can find my trusty partner in crime here. How are you guys doing this week? Great, I hope. Presentation time. Let's see, webinar. This thing is a cool tool, but it's always like pull start an old lawnmower or something. Hey, Ruslan's on, Tom's on. Is that Mike? No, somebody's unknown. Who's unknown? Sorry, I was a few minutes late there. Had a important event to attend, and then this thing takes me. I started it before I left, and it always takes me 10 minutes to kickstart it and get it running again. So let's make small talk. Hey, Sharad, how is? Appreciate your candor in conversation. You know, always good to see the two Jasons. Pop-ins, videos, chat. Are you guys chatting? Make sure you're there. Trying to see if Mike found his way in. I'll do my best to impersonate Mike if he gets in here. 4 times increased fat loss. Can an OTC supplement quadruple your weight loss success? But there's a catch. Should we read on that one? Back to Webinar Jam. Okay, guys, got a chat time for me while I try to get Mike on. So guys are popping in there at attendance, high rate of activity. I think I like Google Hangouts so you guys can talk, but then the screens made me kind of feel psychotic. Oh, I hope you can hear this thing. Yeah, I should be able to. Yep. Anybody else need some more sleep? I vote for sleep. I vote for sleep. Is that skin cancer? I hope not, huh? Skin cancer? No. All right, guys. Let me see if Mike's popping in out here. So, Mike, if you're on, you should be on camera because you're a co-facilitator. So, and a split screen. This is a really cool platform I look forward to using for a lot of our things. It just starts slow. It really is a bitch to get started. Let me see if you guys any questions from you guys, attendees. So I don't know. I don't know how. Make sure I'm going to send this link one more time to Mike. No, the link I just sent you, you can't use, Mike. That's a mistake. Don't use that link. No. Use the link that was emailed to your Gmail. We should just do podcasts because they're bulletproof. That's it. Well, I'm going to see if you guys got any questions while I wait for Mike. I don't know. I got pre-checked on the flight to Vegas. But you guys got any questions while I load this up? My big breakthroughs for the week. My 30-minute run yesterday just seemed plain easy for the first time. Jonathan, awesome. No knee pain, no sheer exhaustion at the end. Just fun, happy. Body is starting to feel more energized. Ain't that the blessing? Wow. Yeah, I love the Writing Wednesdays. The only relevant questions you must ask. Bob Venn's going crazy, man, with the pose down. I'm hoping to make this today, but I have a doc appointment. Okay. Bob's going crazy. Blood work results. So I'm reading blood work results over here. Good stuff. Good stuff. You guys can hit me with questions while I'm waiting for Mike. Hmm. Sorry, I'm sending this again to Mike, so. Yes, Iron Mike Ryan. You guys are so patient. I hope you're drawing pictures or something good. Talking to myself just sucks as bad as waiting. Mike's got a tight schedule, so we were doing our best to get this thing in between this and that. And yes, Dr. Tom's schedule should be freeing up next week. He scheduled without it. Yeah, Mike, you're not in if you can't, unless you're able to log in, see me, and show up on screen. So you should get another confirmation email right now. Check your junk to make sure. Check the junk, check the junk. You guys can chat if you want while I'm killing time here. This doesn't work, man. I'm not seeing chat again. Yo, Mikey.
Boy, this thing's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know. Slow kickstart, man.
They have you go sign YouTube and every other fucking thing they have available.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh, you look awesome.
yeah, hey man, you look good. Looking ripped there. Yeah, this it's a cool tool when you get it running. It's just hell getting it running, man.
I need the headphones and the microphone.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a big hosting event here. It's the only way I can stay focused, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. A little beat up as always, but doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, training's good. Still running around chasing chicks, so yeah, everything's great. I get my cardio in the morning and at night.
Yeah. I got a story on that I just left. I'm like, oh man, following a chick for a guy that was doing something else that shouldn't be doing. I'm like, oh, this stuff gets crazy.
I know, huh?
You know.
When will they learn?
Yeah, I don't know. The place looks good.
No, thanks. Yeah, actually.
When's Ray Donovan get back on?
June, baby. You watch Game of Thrones?
I haven't been watching Thrones, man. I just it looks cool, but it's a little bit intense.
It is. It's what it is. It's like corporate America at its finest. Everyone just buddy fucks each other. You know what I mean? It's like, you're the best, and they just stab each other in the back. It's like, oh man.
I hear House of Cards is awesome too with old Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I have to catch that. I got to get on that. I haven't seen that one, but I heard it's awesome.
Yeah. How's your brother, family?
Everyone's good. Yeah. Cool. Surprisingly, my dad he had to get a valve replaced in his heart.
Oh, so really?
Yeah, open heart surgery for the old man, but he was a bull. He went in, even the doctor said, this guy doesn't even bleed.
Jeez, man, that's cool. Well, it's not that, these days, it's not that big a deal. If you got to do it, you got to do it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was in, all week, and then they take this shit home, you get the monitors and the live-in nurse for a while, but he was just like, I'm fine.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's good. It's good. But you got any traveling coming up? Are you staying home?
I'll be here for a while, I think. Potentially, I may be in St. Bart's in the latter part of the summer, but I don't know yet.
Yeah. How's the weather out there? I mean, it's been hot as hell in California, it looks like.
Yeah, we're just, even at the beach, I mean, it's 100 degrees everywhere you go.
God, that's crazy, man. You saw it here yesterday, right?
I said, 6 inches of snow?
16.
16 inches? Holy shit, are you kidding me?
No, it was the trees were collapsing. That's at my house, but it was crazy. But
was Al Gore there speaking global warming again?
Yeah. Something. I'll tell you what, California's going to burn up with all those fires, man.
Absolutely. We're going to burn and we have no water with the apocalypse.
I know, man. I know. What's going on in Golds these days? They do anything? They changing it? What are they doing?
Well, there's still always the Google hubbub, and no one really knows. It's just, but for me, it's just business as usual. Just show up and push as much iron as I can and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. You got any interesting clients these days, or anything fun going on?
No, still with I'm still Hollywood and Crazy Mickey and my rocker Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a fascinating story. Is a Polish singer. He was a child prodigy star. He was discovered by Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He was a singer in Poland. He became really popular, had his own show and everything. And then he became a representative for the United Nations. So he toured throughout Europe. And one time, I don't know what country it was, but they're asking him, your homeland of Poland, they sell a lot of weapons. A lot of these mines that they find in these desolate countries or remote countries are built and manufactured in Poland. What do you think about that? And this kid was, just a young kid at the time. He's like, I wish my country would stop doing that. It was just an honest statement, Yeah. And then his country, he basically had to leave his country.
Oh my God.
As a young star, as a singer and everything, they basically threw him out because, from my understanding, from what he's telling me, that a lot of the regime from Poland in those days was still spillover from Russia,
Mm-hmm.
So they still had that mentality, you know what I mean? Sell arms, who gives a shit about the people, whatever. Basically what's going on today, you know what I mean? With Putin. That mentality. So this kid, he fled, he just had to live in England for a while, and he came there and he started, still singing, but the country blackballed him, you know what I mean? So he couldn't PR, couldn't do any campaign, he couldn't do anything. And Michael Jackson's manager took him under his wing and said, look, you get talent, I'm going to take care of you. Brought him to America, but then his manager, Michael Jackson, Ralph DeLeo, ended up dying.
Jeez.
So it's like stuck in this country. Now he's a young 20-year-old guy, really doesn't know anything, so he just wants to get in great shape and try to perfect his craft and basically showcase himself here so he can be seen back in Poland, through social media, because he's not allowed back in his country.
Wow. How old is he now?
23.
God dang.
Yeah, fascinating story, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Stuff going on.
I know.
That's wild. Let's talk a little bit about. I got a friend right now getting ready for a competition, and it's one of those things. It's like, you always look like you're ready for competition. I'm always look like I'm ready to get ready for a competition. But I've been sharing with the guys a little bit about. One of the things I ask of the guys in the group, I say, the whole thing about this, about getting somewhere, is about lather, rinse, repeat. It's about simplifying, doing the work, releasing the inner critic, and just doing the simple thing every frickin' day, right? But I got a friend getting ready for this competition. She's 3 weeks out right now, about 3 weeks, yeah. And honest to God, it's like I forget some of the aspects of just how much discipline, just how hungry you can get and how you work with that hunger and how you work with sacrifice. It's not like, you stay as lean as you do through working out and eating right, not through starvation, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we'll talk about what your food, what you intake is every day, but I do see this aspect, especially when people need to make a big leap or they need to get ready for something that really is very finite, like a competition. There is a period of time in that you really do sacrifice some of the comfort foods of life and feel that frickin' hunger.
Oh, I think it's more than just sacrificing comfort foods. It's sacrificing a whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a fan of these competitions. I think life is too short to just to kill yourself for a little piece of tin.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the value proposition is that people that haven't found a reason to get over the hump, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And so they use these things as a marker. And I think there's two ways to do it. One, to do it objectively, where you get that the competition isn't bigger than me, but I'm going to use it, right?
Correct.
Versus people who actually think this is going to be their frickin' life, and then they become addicted to it.
Man, and you and I, we have a laundry list of people that, are just between the health complications and everything else that arise, and bankruptcy and destroyed relationships. It's one of these things that people embark on, and it just basically kind of can fuck your whole life over in every aspect.
Yeah, it's a good question. I got a question there, somebody unknown. But it's like, well, that's the nature of any addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any addiction is going to destroy your personal freedom, your perceived freedoms, and your life. And just because people can become fit and think that they're better than you or better than this, these are fit, broken people, a lot of them, But the hallmark of the takeaway of a competition like this, this girl's got a PhD, so she understands it. You like her, Mike. She's a little like us. She's a bit of a rebel. She's against all the systems. She doesn't like to be told what the hell to do, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But she's using this as a catalyst for her own understanding, right?
Good.
And I think that makes some sense, but it's just a reminder when it started working for her is when she just started doing the work day by day. And it's, once again, talking addiction, she's going one day at a time. I just do today. I do today. I eat what I'm supposed to eat. I follow what I'm supposed to follow. See, we make it too complex sometimes, and we don't just do what we're supposed to do.
I know. Yeah, that's it. You gotta, with everything I do, short attainable goals is how I get through life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. My goals today is make it till 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and that's. I think it's. There's some real peace and zen in that. In a simplified life. I think that, from where I'm at in my life, and my perspective is, so much of my life and so many people's lives are so caught up in these I'm going to change the fucking world bullshit stories that they say, and and they're not doing a damn thing for themselves except walking around, with a cross, I'm not good enough, saying I'm going to change the world.
Have
Why
you
don't
seen
you
a bunch
shake
of those?
yourself and see how that goes?
I know.
You know. So, in a question, I got a question here, Mike, for you. What are the two most important points for someone over 50 trying to look and feel their best? Two most important points. So, most important points. Pretty easy.
Well, for me, the most important point is, well, it all depends on the individual. I'm trying to, bring up a reference. But the first person, you got to make up your mind to do what you're going to say. You know what I mean? And I hate when people are like, oh, I'm over 50, I'm done. You know what I mean? They use age as an excuse. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? I think at any age, you got to decide, look, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life, whether you're 18 or 80. You know what I mean? When you make that decision, then you use all your assets and all everything you have to your availability to get it done.
Yeah. Yep. So make a decision and take the action.
Yeah, I mean, when you realize, like, look, I want to get in shape. What do I do? Well, people are like, oh, I got to shop for food, I got to find a gym. You know what I mean? That's all secondary to me. The first is that you got to make up your mind that you're going to do the work. If you're not going to do the work, then screw it. You know what I mean? Stay home, stay on the couch, do whatever the hell you're doing. But you have to have a conscious effort, a mental preparation that you are going to work hard for the rest of your life. And if you're ready to do it, then life is going to be grand.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think it's the giving up the critical dialogue about it. So you're doing it anyway. And I'm not going to have an argument. I was talking to a friend today about the need to get out of this relationship, right? And let's just say it's time, right? And I said, dude, if you're not resolute in your own conclusion, if you've got a 1% thing, well, maybe I'll stay in it, you're screwed.
Absolutely.
It's just got to be, you got to be over it from the inside out. You're over it. You just made it. You made a call. I'm not saying it's going to feel comfortable. It's not going to be easy. That's not going to make it easy, but you just do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like we're talking about, simplify things. It's either black or white.
Yeah.
You're either in or out. You know what I mean? You can justify anything a million ways, but you're either in or out.
Yeah, yeah. If you're justifying, if you catch yourself in the justifying, if you catch yourself telling stories about it, look at that. What's that about? I mean, that's it. You do the work. I mean, and I think that to what you're saying, Mike, is all the game of fitness and all this crap about it, this or that, or what's the right path, the wrong path, all follows your internal decision and willingness to do what it takes. I mean, that's my favorite poster of you, is the one running on the sand on the beach. It says, just do the work.
Yeah, someday, yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah.
You wrote down, some days it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So do the work.
Do the work.
It is. And it's I mean, you can never look at anyone who's successful that worked hard with, I mean, you can never find anyone that's not successful that didn't work hard.
Yep.
Except for Don Sterling.
He's working hard at putting his foot in his mouth right now, isn't he?
Oh, what a lunatic. And getting off the subject for a second, I see Magic Johnson every day. He is the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he chose him for a target, but boy, what an ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's insane, man. I mean, in retrospect, I got a question here. So in retrospect, staying in shape year-round, do you ever have bad days, weeks where you're lacking motivation, inspiration? Let's talk about when Mike's lacking motivation, inspiration, what it looks like and what he does.
We all have days. There's no doubt about it. We all have days, and what you got to do, I like to, sit back and reevaluate what's going on. It's like, geez, today kind of sucked. The day before my workout sucked, and I just realized, I'm kind of in tune with my body now, so I listen to my body more than anything. And if I'm beat up and if I'm broke down, I'm like, screw it. I'm going to take the next 2 days. I'm going to go to In-N-Out, and I'm going to have a couple of cold beers, and then come by the weekend. I'm recharged, I'm remotivated, I'm refocused.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to step away, step back, because for guys like us, this is a lifestyle. You know what I mean? I take 2 days off, that's okay. I still got, 2,000 more days ahead of me.
Yeah, and I think that's just such a huge wisdom, and I think that, and I preach this stuff all the time. If you can't let go, then all you're doing is holding on, then there's no freedom, no flexibility at all. It's driving you, you're not driving it.
Right. Yeah, good point.
If you can't walk away and just take a breath, and I mean, you said exactly what, no surprise, what I would say and do, which is, and the same thing happens in work. I'm exhausted. I feel, depressed. I mean, the great thing about feeling depressed, it's so often a byproduct of being overtrained or fatigued or exhausted.
Okay.
So energy, when my energy is good, my mind is always up. I'm hopeful and optimistic and positive. When my energy is weak, then I can feel defeated, right?
Yeah.
So,
and a good thing, what I do is when I'm beat up and when I'm tired, you know what I mean. I just have little visual reminders of you know what I mean, like fun times with friends, old football days, me and you drinking somewhere. You know what I mean. Just little things that spark me. You know what I mean. Like, oh yeah, that was good, man. I felt good at those days. What was I doing at those days? All right, and it recharges me. It gives you a mental kick in the ass, I think, too.
Yeah, and being around people that are winning, and you can't help but be contagious around people that are winning. But I think the wisdom of this thing is you walk away. When I'm having a bad day at the office, I don't double my efforts and increase my internal punishment.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to win anything. Just because I'm going to feel released because I'm going to guilt myself to death and fatigue myself more, it just, some days I've got stuff that has to be done by midnight tonight, and I realize that it ain't happening. It's just not going to happen.
I know, and that's the good thing. And because I work with so many high stress people. I mean, the guys, the Jarls of the world. You know what I mean? Those guys, they run stressful lives. And I always tell them, I said, look, step away. You know what I mean? Nothing dramatic is going to happen. You're always going to have your life. You're going to have your health. It doesn't and that's the priority.
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe that's really it, is getting a relook at what your priority is, getting some perspective. When you think your fitness is more important than anything else, it's time to get a look at your priorities. Yeah. I guess that's the wrong way to say it. That's completely the wrong way to say it. It is more important than anything else, but when you're obsessed with it, it's time to take some perspective. I think that's the key thing, is like Ruslan asked, is it a conscious decision on a daily basis for you to do the work, or is it like breathing air for you that you can't live without? Great question.
Yeah, for me, it's the latter. I mean, training is a livelihood for me.
Yeah. It's a livelihood, and it's what you do because who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. Yeah, my work defines me, which is funny. I guess I'm a Renaissance man.
Yeah. That's funny. What purpose does training experience serve in your life? Okay, so what purpose does the experience of training serve in your life other than getting out the aesthetic result?
Well, I mean, quote, health and longevity of life and a better quality of life. And it's not always just about looking good, but boy, feeling good is a huge aspect, and waking up and just ready to attack the day because you just feel better. You have a better well-being about yourself.
Yeah, and I think, you and I, as long as we've, known each other, man, I think, I'm going to tell you a funny experience, I'll say it in a minute, but there's something about the camaraderie or the brotherhood of the iron when you know somebody else trains in the gym, and you don't have to explain it to them, and they don't have to explain it to you, right?
Absolutely.
But the reality is going to the gym, whatever the hell you do and however you move the iron, does something for us, which is the equivalent of an hour of meditation and prayer.
Absolutely, it's my church.
Yeah, it feels that way. I mean, it's renewing, it's rejuvenating, it releases all this crazy stress. It makes me present and awake and alert. I feel more like what I think the ultimate human experience is supposed to feel like.
Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, between the endorphin rush and everything else. I mean, we can even quote Arnold. It's like coming in the gym.
Yeah.
You're coming in the afternoon. I mean, imagine you coming all day.
Playing clips from Arnold. I was at a store. I was at Whole Foods the other day. This is a funny story, and I was thinking about it when I was there. It's the funny experience of walking in, and I see this guy in there with his 10 or 11-year-old daughter, and he's probably 42, 43, good-looking guy, He's a couple inches taller than me, but he's big, right? He's packing some muscle, right? Mm-hmm. And I realized at that moment, it's like I feel like I should know him, and it's like it's I think maybe in Venice Beach it's a little different to see people with muscle on, but in Colorado I realize how rare it is to really see a guy that's not just kind of sort of fit and might be crossfitting, but it's really packing on some muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at the guy's daughter's looking at me and saying something to her dad, and you're like you're part of some weird boys club or something. It's like, what is this,
You think like this guy, I should know this guy, and he should know me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, in Colorado especially, it's like if you've been training for 20 years, like this guy had, you pretty much do know everybody.
Yeah, it is a quite unique club. I never thought of it that way. And it's funny when people always ask you like, oh, you ever see that guy at Gold's Gym? I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
We all know each other. Yeah, he was there like 10 years ago. He had a go-to. Oh, of course I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course I know. Here's a question. Any recommendations on pre-strength training meal? First thing in the morning, a cup of coffee, whatever. How do you organize your food around your workouts?
Well, of course, it's all schedule depending. I mean, if you can train first thing in the morning, I mean, in an ideal scenario, I would always do cardio first thing in the morning, empty stomach, have a full strength shake, and then I hit the weights. I mean, I think there's nothing better than that. And if this guy can do that, definitely, do your cardio, bang it out, and take a shake with you, and suck it down and hit your weights. And it's tough. I mean, of course, it'd be great if you could get up, prepare a cooked meal, but that's, no one wants to do that early in the morning. I'm sure he has to get up early, so. Yeah, I would stay with you. We're both fans of caffeine. I think caffeine's wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, have your coffee and then bang out. And if it's nice, it was on late night. They were talking about the benefits of coffee. Caffeine. They actually say that caffeine or coffee is good for your eyesight.
Yeah.
And David Letterman goes, "Are you sure? Did you see the prices at Starbucks?"
I saw a scientific study the other day that's kind of interesting. It's funny. Research shows that if you're doing cardio and strength training in the same session, that the muscle will adapt to the last stimulus. So if you train with weights first and then do cardio afterwards, it wants to adapt itself to endurance.
Interesting.
So, which is funny because I've always intuitively said that. I said I'd always rather end with the weights.
Right.
I always like my last stimulus. I would never want to end with a really good high-intensity strength workout and say, hey, let's go run for an hour.
I know, yeah, you beat yourself up and you're fatigued, and you're like, what happened to my pump and my feel-good feeling?
Yeah, I know. I just destroyed all that pump, took away all my endorphins, ran myself down in the gutter. It was
when I walked into this cardio room.
I know. I felt huge. I was, the other day I posted a photo, one of those 12-year-old things from Maui, with my hat on.
Yeah, I loved it.
I was like, God, I look at this picture and go, who is that fucking Hulk?
You were a beef.
He's a big side of beef. But then I also reflect on that and I go, I also know that was, I was pumped. I probably had just trained and I get pumped up,
And you ate everything in sight too.
Yeah, I know. So how do you guys take coffee? What do you do for coffee, Mike?
I'm just big. I just have a big cup black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I throw in ice a little bit so it doesn't burn my tongue.
Yeah, it's really pretty simple.
I'm just like just getting in, and like I said, caffeine I think is wonderful. I think it's a wonderful component to your training. I think it's wonderful for your life.
Yeah, caffeine has. The science just gets more and more upside all the time. What's your kryptonite, Mike?
Besides chicks.
And they don't start as kryptonite; they just turn into kryptonite.
Right. That's priceless. My kryptonite.
I got 147 pounds of kryptonite at home.
All right. What would be my kryptonite? I guess aches and pains.
Yeah.
Because I still try and push myself daily. It's ridiculous, and I just have this. Whether it's my inner ego or whatever, but I go to the gym. I want to try and lift as much as I can all the time. Yeah. These days, I battle aches and pains constantly, and I always tell everyone, A day without pain is a day without sunshine. But I just like to push through it. But yeah, I'm always, I'm kind of beat up all the time. But I guess that would be my kryptonite. Little aches and pains that just arise, and the stupidest things too. You know what I mean? Like reaching for the remote. There goes my elbow. I'm like, so I have to go to the gym immediately, do something hard, and say, just blew my elbow out. Doing try curls with a 50-pound dumbbell.
Yeah, that's what I did when I blew my elbow out. Had to be jet skiing. It couldn't have been training or something.
The goofy injuries we get later.
Yeah. No, that's. I get the aches and pains, man. I mean, do you do any anti-inflammatories like ibuprofens and stuff?
Not really, because I think you can be. Because I started taking it once, I'll be like, you know what I mean? I would take them all the time. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, my stomach lining would be rotted out probably from all the. You know what I mean? So I deal with it. It's nothing. You know what I mean? It's not unbearable pain. You know what I mean? I always know I'm going to feel a tweak here or a strain here, and that's part of my life right now. And I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I don't do a lot of it, but I know that is a concept or strategy, which is I prefer Aleve over ibuprofen for starters, just because it's a little more prolonged and a little bit more of an anti-inflammatory. But sometimes on the joint stuff, if you do like 5 days of Aleve and then don't do it for 2 months, it's kind of like getting ahead of depression or something. If you can get the inflammation out of your joints,
really? Okay.
It'll take the inflammation down for a long time. Because inflammation creates inflammation. So if you just treat it like every 3 months, I'm going to do a week of ibuprofen or a week of Aleve, and I'm going to do it twice a day, and I'm going to really be aggressive about beating the inflammation down.
Yeah.
That's a good approach to just taking some of the pain out.
Okay. So the pulp brownies are no good?
Yeah. Pork rinds are no good.
Venice Beach people, that's all we do out here.
How do you? Here's a question: how do you handle social gatherings that tend to always revolve around food? I think I have that answer.
Yeah, I did. And for me, I'm not. You know what I mean? I just eat. You know what I mean? And anywhere you go, you can get grilled steamed vegetables. Anywhere you go, you get a piece of grilled fish, or you know what I mean? Times have changed so much. You can go eat anywhere. Anywhere you go, it can be eat clean. So yeah.
Well, and I think I think the idea is that you run your life. I like the old Stallone model, which is if 80% of the time I'm doing the right thing, 20% of the time I can eat chocolate cake.
Right.
So it's what you're doing most of the time. It's not what you're doing at the social event that's hamming your ass. And if you're at the social event that you're having to limit, control, regulate, or have a lot of dialogues with yourself, then you're putting yourself in a difficult position. Yeah. That said, strategically, just so you have a plan, it's easy to go straight at when your conscious mind's most engaged. When you first get to something like that, eat some protein, eat some veggies, right? And anything else you want to eat would start to fade away.
Yeah. And alcohol's your friend.
Until it turns into your kryptonite. Then, ouch. What people ask, how do you plan your splits? I know you're first thing in the morning, cardio, empty stomach. You like to have a meal and train.
Correct. Actually, and since I just kind of revised my program, I still do cardio first thing in the morning, and then I'm almost training later almost into the night, into late afternoon, evenings, or night, just to really, as everyone should do. Just totally shock your body. All new exercises, all new times to be in the gym. So I'm training like around 6 at night now. It was early, it was 12, and I went to 4, and now I'm at 6. And for a couple months, I'll revert back to training back at noon again.
That's a cool idea. I think the 4 to 6 o'clock, isn't that our kind of peak strength time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, the thing for me, which I kind of dig, it's a new environment and new stimuli. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool seeing all your buddies train together at the same time, same day. But then it gets, like all things, you get stagnant. So you switch up, and all of a sudden you're training, and of course in the evening and night you have a younger, more aggressive crowd. So here I'm thrown into this young pack of wolves that I want to be like, hey, I'm the alpha wolf here. So it's kind of good.
That's a good stimulus, man. That's cool. That's good. It's a good idea. How's Mateo doing?
Good. Yeah, we're having fun. So actually, if you're coming out next week, and if you listen, if you guys are in town, we're going to have a throwback fitness party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to dress up at our party. That's something you trained in 10, 15, or 20 years ago.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to find
so I'm
those.
looking for a lot of boat nets, a lot of wedgies, a lot of girls with the ponytails to the side.
Oh man, I got to get some of those Zubo pants or whatever.
Zubo pants, absolutely. Break them out in your fanny pack.
Yeah, fanny pack. God, I wish I knew where those were. Jeez, man.
Yeah, we're just thinking like we could have a party all summer. We could have a throwback fitness party. How funny would that be?
Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah. What kind of cardio, Mike? You still running?
Yeah, I do everything from my cardio, like just how I train. It's all about basically shock and awe. Whatever I can do to stimulate my body. I do miles. I'll do 4 miles some days. I'll do 7 miles some day. I'll do hit on the treadmill where I got a great sprint routine, and then some days I'll just take my tablet and I'll watch a movie on the stepper for a good 45, 60. It depends on the movie, even 90 minutes. Yeah, I'm always switching up my cardio.
I like that. I mean, that's cool. It's cool. And then I always thought running in the sand was the brutal, man. That was.
Oh man, yeah, I do that with my weight vest.
Oh.
That's killer.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the upside is there's always girls in bikinis, so it's like, oh man, I can go another 20 minutes of this.
Yeah. I like the DVD and fanny packs, as somebody said on there. That's funny. DVD and fanny packs. What's the stupidest thing you've ever seen someone do at Gold's?
Oh my God, what are we in? It's how we talked earlier. I mean, training's a simple process. You know what I mean? It's everything is simple. I think this day and age, people try and take a simple process and make it even more intricate, difficult, and for me, absurd, stupid, asinine, and foolish and ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, there's guys that take the machines and they're trying to stand on them and balance them. And it's like, you fucking kidding me? The people who invented these machines, they know what they're doing. Don't bastardize the machine. There was a guy going on the leg press backwards, trying to do a press on the leg press. You know what I mean? He had his feet on the pad, and he's taking your feet and pushing it. And I'm like, I fucking was like, I've never seen anything so. And he's throwing his back into it, and I was just like, someone got to film this. This is priceless. I don't get it. You know
Someone's got to film this.
This is priceless. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just it's insane.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Somebody asked.
Well, and that's the problem with all these people. Like, oh, I got a revolutionary technique. I got this new technique. We can do exercise this way. We can do something this way. You know what I mean? It's not hard, people. The people, you know what I mean, who train and been trained forever, move on in an efficient way and they get results. Everything else is kind of nuts.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, playing around and having variety within the range of how the body's supposed to move, man?
Absolutely.
And knowing it and playing with it. I mean, I can do some, I still, God, I'm an idiot sometimes. I still train at home, Yeah, it's just lazy is what it is, because it's easier, And I mean, I get it with kids and the traveling and stuff. Because, I mean, every time I go to the gym, I go like, I have to get clothes on and shit. I can't just train in my underwear and stuff.
Sure you can.
I know. I'll be texting people. I'm going, training in my underwear again.
You know what? I did legs this morning, so I had you know what I mean. It was warm up, but I had cut off sweatpants. I trained legs, and then underneath I have the Under Armour undies on.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, I was just like, I want to, you know what I mean? I had blunt pump, and I said, I'm just going to kind of, break up the lactic. I'll do the stepper for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do it on these flats. So I took them off, and the girl walks by, she goes, are you training in your underwear? I'm like, it's Wednesdays. Everyone's supposed to train in their underwear.
It's Wednesday's underwear day.
Totally. Yes.
So I'm not alone with that. So I stand corrected.
Except you're in the comfort of your own home, and my ass is out there for everybody to see.
I stand corrected. So someone asked, can you elaborate more on your training split? And one of the ones I've got put into Power Building here was our 21-day roulette, which is, I mean, that's your variety. But I mean, from what I understand, you basically just stick to pretty much a constant chronic variety, right?
Yeah. And I still do. I try to do one body part a day and just crush it. And how I just break up the exercise. I break up the rep schemes. I break up the time frames. I break up. It's always intense, but it's going to be, you know, I mean, I'll give an example. One day I'll do 100 rep sets. One day I'll try and powerlifting movements for 3 to 5 reps. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's all about switching up.
So basically, it's it's kind of a PhD in muscle confusion.
Yeah. What a term, muscle confusion.
Yeah, the ultimate muscle confusion makes Tony Horton look like a grade school in muscle confusion.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually call it changing your program, but hey, muscle confusion works.
whatever. But I mean, I think that's fun, and a lot of people don't have the capacity, the skill set and wherewithal to plan to think that stuff out, which is, why we put the 21-day together, because, with the 21-day roulette, you can just,
Go nuts.
yeah, I mean, just get the program and roll, and it's going to hit your variety for you. And I think that's a kick in the ass. I do have that thing documented. I got to finish putting that thing in, but
I can't wait to do it. And just film every day. Be like, oh man, this is insane. Who created this?
I know. Well, that's the crazy thing about a program is, once a program's set to follow, man, if it says do 400 reps, I'll do 400 reps. I stop thinking about it, right?
Right. Well, that's why I guess. I mean that, and that's why I'm in the business I am. You know what I mean? Anyone can teach a person how to lift a weight. You know what I mean? But it's the constant motivation, constant reminder, and constant in your face of like, okay, this guy's gonna stand over me. I can't let him down.
Yeah. There's an accountability and a creativity, and I mean, it's this girl's getting ready for a competition. I mean, she's, like I said, she's got a PhD. She knows this stuff. Well, what'd she do? She hired a coach, a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I can't, I don't need to be the one in charge of my own stuff now. I need to just do what I'm told without sitting around overthinking it and get it done.
Yeah, good. I hope she does well, and I hope it doesn't. You know what I mean? Well, she seems smart enough that she won't get caught up in all the sideshow bullshit that goes on.
Well, there's already a conversation happening where she's like, I'm going to do one show for this, and she's always like, I might do another one. And I'm like, that's fine, but when you start having 3 of those, I'm going to tell you, you might want to check in with a doctor. You know what I mean?
Right, I know. And all of a sudden, be like, what happened in the last 7 years of my life?
I know. You wake up, 45 shows later, still trying to win the Olympia or something.
I know. It's, yeah. And then the worst part for me, as you know, Golds is the breeding ground for that. And I'm all for people, challenge themselves and doing it. I just think you have to have parameters of what you're going to do.
Yeah. Yep. Amen. And what you're here for. And I mean, that's one of the conversations that you might have saw the email I sent out last week. It came from a dialogue, and it was regarding what do you do with Mike,
Oh, yeah.
Because, people use you as inspiration, and they use you equally as justification for feeling bad about their own state or progress, right?
Uh-huh. It's so funny why people do that. You know what I mean? There's just so many angry people out there. I had a doctor tear me up the other day. Did you see that one?
No, huh?
Yeah, he just like, oh, kids, there you go. Let's get this guy ready for a coffin. And he named off like 100 drugs. So I was just like, and I wasn't in the mood. I said, I'm so tired of jealous pussies like you. Why the fuck would you sign on to be just that you've never accomplished anything athletic in your life, so you're taking pop shots. You're a cyber pussy.
Yeah, cyber pussy's funny.
Then he tells me to a road race. I said, you can pick any event. I'll beat you in anything.
I'll beat you in anything.
Anything. Spelling bee, whatever you want.
Spelling bee. He challenged you to a road race?
Yeah. He's like, I do marathons. In 2 miles, you'll be winded. I said, I will beat you in anything. Anything.
That's funny, man. No, I mean, I'm the guy last year that the Good Men Project did a story on. We've got to teach our kids how to stay free of these psychotic drug addict bodybuilders that have had all this cosmetic surgery and stuff.
Yeah, I know, huh? I guess he got you confused with Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, is he a woman yet?
I know.
I don't know what's happening there, but.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I just was like, I tore that doctor new ass in the Good Men Project too, and I was like, really, man?
Good for you. Yeah, I know. I don't understand why people. Well, I mean, it's human nature, of course.
Yeah, but the nature of the thing. I mean, the gift I think of it is, what I had responded to and said in the email I sent out was, you know, how are you using it? How do you use anybody's? You know, how do you use Warren Buffett's $800 billion? You know, do you use it as what can I learn from what Warren does, or do I have to be as good as Warren? Do I have to be exactly like Warren, or how do I work that to fit into my life? And the reality is, you know, we can all within right reason be better people and better at certain things. We can all be healthier and stronger and fitter, but we're not all the same size. We're not all built exactly the same. We don't all have the exact same muscle fiber, and we're not all, you know, I mean, it's like I said, you know, I could, you know, on my best day, I was never going to have your arms. Your arms are bigger than mine. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what do I do? Beat myself up about it, or do my best thing? You know.
The best Sean Phillips you can do, and that's all we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's what the goal is. I mean, that's the thing is you've got to grade yourself on your own grade, on your own scale, right, man? And use people as source. And if you use people to beat you up, then you're creating a negative cycle anyway, and then you're not in a positive flow. You're not in positive energy. You're not creating good, even if you are getting fit. You're creating it from a bad, weak, scared position.
Good point.
You know, abundance, man. Do you do any? Oh, here's a question for you. You're gonna listen. Do you do any body weight exercises, or do you always stick to weights?
Actually, yeah, I do. That's a good question. I try to do, you know, like I said, I try to do one body part. You know, like back day, I'll just do a series of pull-ups, wide grip, narrow grip. Chest, I'll do a shitload of push-ups. You know, just vary my hand position and my feet position. Dips, a lot of dips. What else do we do? Then even for biceps, you know, I can do a pull-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I do. I try and do a body weight exercise as well. I think it's good. And again, it's all variety, shock and awe. You know what I mean? How to shock your body to stimulate growth.
Yeah. I do. I haven't really played with the TRX stuff, although I think I thought of that idea long before they did.
All right, but I don't like TRX. I think, you know what I mean. To me, there's just when it should be the heaviest is when there's no strain on your muscle. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, pull, I can relax. Or pull forward, I can relax. It's only like 2 integral parts of where you're actually recruiting the muscle.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of the need for chronic instability.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm trying to constantly stabilize my, you know, the body already runs and stabilizes itself. I don't need to test
I always say, look, I live on a pretty solid foundation. I don't know when I'm going to be, you know what I mean, doing push-ups during an earthquake.
Yeah, I know. This is really going to come in handy during push-ups in an earthquake.
Yeah, you need to do it right now. Whoa!
I do. Another thing on that, you know, I have a pretty cool, you know, and it sounds bad to say it, but I have a set of cables that isn't like that rubber hose shit.
Yeah.
You know, and they're different bandwidths, and I can hook them together and create really good resistance. And what I do with that is I use it as a finishing thing, like on my chest and shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll just get it and I'll lean into it and crank, and I can do all kinds of really wild cranking, really high resistance, you know, flexing, contracting movements. It gives me a lot of flexibility for biceps, for shoulder raises, for rear delts, for chest.
Perfect.
And it has a really cool feel to it. So I mean that's another way to mix it up, and you know, it allows you to just work with some really steady force and some good contraction and really peak it out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so good. Let's get a couple last questions here. What's today's Wednesday? You got to get back for some clients?
Yeah, I gotta go. It's what, almost. I gotta go wake up Mickey. It's almost 1.
How's he doing?
He's good. He's crazy as all hell, but boy, he is fun.
Yeah. It's fun's good. Fun's good, man.
I went to. He took me to Mel Gibson's birthday party.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mel Gibson, me, Mickey, and Meg, and the only thing they talked about was steroids. That's the only thing they want to know: how big they can get, how strong they can get, what's the fastest way to do the least amount of work.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, guys, you just got to put the work in. Every 2 seconds, no, there's got to be an easy way. I'm like, no, there's got to be an easy way. Then they're like, look, we'll pay you. I'm like, pay me whatever. You got to put in the work.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Wait till you meet those guys. You're gonna crack up, dude.
How's Mel? Is he just like focused and kind of on and?
Yeah, it's a sad story, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He went on a crazy drunken rant, and he's blackballed from Hollywood. And he hosts parties, and no one really attends. Bums like me go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, this guy entertained people for years.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the highest-grossing actors ever. His body work is pretty amazing, between Braveheart and Body Price, which he produced, and Apocalypto, which he produced, and then the Mad Max movies, which were fun, and the Lethal Weapon series were huge, mega hits.
I know. I was watching something the other day with him, and I was just thinking about that too. And I go, it really is kind of a shame that you can have, I mean, in a place that likes to think of itself as so liberal, forgiving, and gracious, that you can have a moment of being less than your best self and just get such a blacklisted black eye. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I hate to get into it because I think he's an absolute freaking tool, but the reality of the whole dialogue with Donald Stern and that basketball, I mean, the one that she recorded was predominantly about a guy who was pissed off and jealous at a silly girlfriend that he shouldn't have, and didn't know how to share it other than to be critical of someone else.
Absolutely.
And
I know he's just a bag of shit, though. I met him before. I met him with his wife, and I think we were drinking. I think she started throwing up at the table. I can't remember, but my buddy's, dude, you made her do shots so she puked. I'm like, really? I'm like, go figure, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that's funny. No, yeah, he is a bag of whoop, but
Yeah.
I mean, at what point do we start condoning people eavesdropping with that recorded dialogue in someone's house?
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's just a problem. It's a problem. It's too bad, and it's too bad. I mean, I'm glad Mickey got a career revival, although I think he's been putting the thumbs on that, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's good. What was out in Malibu or what?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a compound and a half out there.
Yeah, at least he's got a place to stay.
I know. And what I mean? He surrounds himself with family, which is, hey, nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Yeah. His crazy wife kind of out of the scenes now.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. You know what I mean? She was another girl that recorded him.
Yeah.
I mean? She tried to sue him and take all his money and everything.
Yeah, it's a crap. What a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I think we got enough questions, and I appreciate your time. It's always good to catch up with.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Thank you guys for chiming in.
Yeah, I'm due to get out there soon. Now that I'm single.
All right.
Yeah, and I got some people I've been talking to. I got to meet out there anyway. So let's see. What is today? It's May. You're in town for a while. Maybe I'll get out into this month or first week of June. How's that?
All right. We'll push the party back. We'll push the party back. You can come to the throwback.
All right, first week of June it is. All right, man.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, my man.
Guys. See you, bud.
All right.
Take care.